I think I've mentioned before that I'm on the board of directors of an interfaith council here in my local community. And one of the ideas that our board came up with was to have people from different traditions write a blurb for the newspaper, kind of an op-ed. And the one I put together is one that I'm going to read for you now, and I call it My Buddhist Faith. And the thing of it is, we had to keep these within, 500 words. So this one's just about exactly 500 words. I said, in March 1979, at age 31, I was feeling acutely anxious and fearful because I was in a situation over which I had little control. While not being religious, I literally got down on my knees and asked for help. I had no idea whom I was addressing and had no real expectation of a response. But suddenly I felt a wonderful sense of peace, calm, and happiness. This shift in consciousness lasted several years, ushering in a deeply meaningful spiritual dimension to my life, which continues to this day. When it occurred, I studied and looked inward to discover the basis for the sublime gift that I had received. I adopted a daily meditation practice which involved focusing on my breath and letting go of all other thoughts and sensations. I spent much time reading the Bible, the writings of the Christian mystics, the early Buddhist teachings, as well as later Buddhist scriptures of the Mahayana or Great Vehicle tradition, such as the Heart Sutra, the Diamond Sutra, the Lankavatara Sutra, and especially the Threefold Lotus Sutra. I was also fortunate to have made contact with an older woman in my community who had a strong devotional orientation toward a cosmic Buddha called Amida, the Buddha of infinite light or wisdom and infinite compassion, the two attributes which comprise the essence of Buddhism. This woman, Lucille, helped me appreciate the Pure Land path. In India, some 2,500 years ago, the historical Buddha, Sakyamuni, taught that suffering in life is inevitable due to our attachments and difficulty in seeing things as they really are. However, he optimistically described an eightfold path toward the cessation of suffering, involving various views and practices. In later Buddhist teachings, from around the beginning of the Common Era, scriptures revealed that Sakyamuni was actually an incarnation of an eternal Buddha. I consider this Buddha of infinite life to be Amida Buddha. The story goes that before he became a Buddha, Amida was a bodhisattva, a being who dedicates himself or herself to relieving others of their suffering, even to the extent of foregoing his or her own enlightenment until all other beings can get aboard the great vehicle and attain passage to the other shore. Amida made a powerful vow when he was a bodhisattva that he would not become a Buddha until he was capable of creating a pure land of bliss where people could be born when they die simply by entrusting themselves to the efficacy of his vow. Thus, this is an easy path, in contrast to a path requiring rigorous ethical behavior, good works, esoteric knowledge, meditative and contemplative practices, etc. The Buddha provides many paths or expedient skillful methods for beings to be, quote, saved. This is necessary because people differ in their beliefs, attitudes, personalities, etc., as well as in the cultures and environments they inhabit. For a person with gross imperfections, such as me, incapable of treading the path of sages, the easy path teaching prescribes only one requirement: having faith in Amida's power to save. Even this is endowed by Amida. My only, quote, practice, which is really a non-practice, since once entrusting occurs there is no requirement at all, is to recite Namu Amida Butsu, which means, I take refuge in Amida Buddha. The sentiment that this recitation expresses is gratitude. While my faith in the, quote, other power of Amida's grace has not led to antinomianism, the assurance I have been given has relieved me of the burden of requiring myself to be perfect, for which I am indeed profoundly grateful. Namo Mirabocho.